Well, good day everyone. Welcome to Babsie's Card Making and Crafting. I'm Babsie and I'm from a little village in Deanshanger, just outside Northamptonshire in the UK. And today we're mixing it up a bit. I've been using the stamp set, which has escaped me. Oh, let me just quiet myself. You don't want double voices of me. One is enough. We've been using Joyful Holly stamp set to make some lovely cards, and we made those on Monday evening. Now, I'll go through the ones we made and what we did in a moment, but I've got something to share with you. I have shared this on a number of occasions in the past week, but I do have some product left, so I'd like to offer this up for a final offer, and it's my crafty bags. Oh, hello Lynn, that's nice of you to join me today, thank you. So we've got a crafty bag based on the Pampered Pets DSP. Now in your bag you'll get a quarter pack of DSP, and I'll cut it like this so you can cut out the animals, but it will be cut in quarter of a sheet. So you've got 2 of dogs, you've got 2 of cats, and then you've got 2 of the backing papers. One has got meow, love, jump, paw, and the other one's got scratch, wag, play, love and bark, obviously for dogs and cats. But if you didn't want to use those, you could use the backing of these as well. They are really good papers, and I've designed 6 cards along with videos that you will have exclusive rights to watch, because I'm not publicising these, not yet anyway. And here's a couple. If you've seen some videos before, you would have seen a couple of the others. So that's the one for dogs, and this is the one for the cats. Really quite sweet, little bit different, but they are the cards. So you will get all the card bases all cut and scored, ready for you to put together, so even beginners could have this kit. You'll get all the papers that you need. As I said, that's a quarter pack of DSP. You will have some over. You will have some blank cards, just an ordinary normal card. We call them C6 size cards, to replicate your own cards. And in the videos there's a couple of extra tips and tricks to do that with. You'll get some ribbon to complete your cards, and some extra, and you'll have some other little bonuses in your pack, and some gems to finish your card as well. All of that for £15 if I can deliver it, 18 if I have to post it. As I say, I live in Deanshanger, so if you're within a 10-mile radius, that would be no problem. Okay, so that's that out of the way. Now let's get back to the cards. These are the lovely cards we made Monday evening. So I started off with a 1-sheet wonder, and I printed out these, I did the stamps in the ivy, obviously the ivy and the berries, all over an A4 sheet, and then I just cut it up, no particular order. This was the first one I did, so I just cut this so that I would have layer for this card, and then I cut some green for that one, and then I couldn't decide what sentiment to put on it, and then I found my curvy, my scalloped circles, so I did that one for that one. And then there's 2 here, exactly the same, a little bit wider, a little bit shorter than this one. Put some ribbon round it, and I put one on one side and one on the other, and then just changed it just a little bit and added a little bit of bling. And then these 2, exactly again, another bit shorter and a little bit wider. You can see where this is going, can't you? The smaller the piece of paper I had, the smaller my layers would have to be. That I didn't do it, I didn't sort of lay it out and make sure I had enough. I just winged it, really. So I just created a layer here, really, really simple type of card. And this has got just a basic layer, and this one's got something a little bit wider for that one. It's used the gold thread, and I've just tweezed it out to make it a little bit fluffy. It looks a bit like stuff that goes, oh, what's that stuff you put on trees? It's not twinkle, is it? Oh, tinsel, that's right. Tinsel that goes on the tree. Looks a bit like that. And then I thought, we'll step it up another notch and put some embossing on the bottom. Now, this little trick on this one, I don't know whether you can see that. This has got splatters of gold on it. And Michaela Titherich, I think her surname is. I only know her as the the crafty oink. No, oink after. Oinky craft pen? No, that's not right, is it? I'm not sure. Anyway, I think her surname's Titherich, and she's a lovely, lovely crafter. She brings all sorts of inspiration to crafting and sees things quite differently. Oh, thank you, Linny. It was the crafty oink pen. Yeah, I got all the words just in the wrong order. So yes, she said that you can actually use an aqua painter, which is one of these. This is an old type, but they're called water pens now. Or yeah, watercolouring pens. And there's some water in here, and what you do is you just flick it onto, I haven't got any water in here, so it's not going to go anywhere, but you just flick it onto your card, getting everything else out of the way. And then before it dries, very, very quickly, before it dries, you sprinkle embossing powder on it. And I've done that with gold embossing powder. And then quickly, very, very quickly, use your heat gun on it. You have to leave your heat gun on there quite a long time, because you're trying to evaporate all the water that you've put on the card. But it works brilliantly, and that's when I decided to put the cord on it, because just to match it up, and the gold embossing as well. I'm quite pleased with this one. Now, this one was started off, you know, when we say when we make mistakes, they almost turn out, sometimes they turn out as a bit of crafty happiness. Well, this is exactly what happened with this one. These two pieces were in a piece of paper about yay long, that was the very last piece of the A4 sheet that I had left. And somehow or other, cutting and stamping all the other bits, I'd smudged the bottom of the paper, and these two pieces were really quite badly smudged. I mean, you can see a little bit there of where it was actually smudged. But what I did, I went back to the aqua painter and very lightly took some ink into the block. I can't do it on the new pads, I can only do it on the old pads. I took some ink in the tray here and used my aqua painter. Not only a very little water, because this was stamped on ordinary white card. And very, very lightly watercoloured the background. And of course, I'd already stamped all this on there, so it has run just a tiny little bit. But I kind of like that effect. It looks like raindrops, that you're looking through rain, and I just loved it. I thought it would look really neat. But, you know, the more I look at it, the more I like it. I wasn't convinced until I put the gold behind and actually got it on the card. And when I got the right shape, and to set this off in the red as well. It just all came together, and I was faffing about with it for ages, and it nearly went in the bin. But what a lovely card it's created. So that was me being creative and using what was going to be thrown away. And these are the last two. Now this was just a little bit of an experiment. So you've got two really thin strips here, exactly the same, and then these bits are just pieces of card that was in the card stash. They were sort of left over, so I trimmed them down a little bit to match the layer, and then I thought, well, I put it on the card and it looked a bit bland, so I thought it needs a bit of texture, so I put this little bit piece here in through the embossing folder, and that one is it's from the World of Good, I think. Let me just see, I've got it just here. Old World paper 3D embossing folder, and that's, I've laid this one going this way and this one going this way, but I think this one's my favourite. And then I knew what cutout I was going to use, so we use this one. This one's from the, again, reaching for another set of dies. I should have all of them written down, shouldn't I? And then I wouldn't have to worry. No, I can't find that one. But it's a set of dies that all come together. That's because it's right by my side. Look at that. I did have it there. Stitched So Sweetly dies. So that's come out of that one. And this is stamped in white chalk paint. And I thought I'd give that a go. I was going to do it in white embossing powder, but mine has gone a little bit, I've had it an awful long time, and it's gone a little bit grainy, and it's not the best. So I thought I'd use the white ink pad. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's chalk paint. But that's come out really, really well, and I'm really surprised about that. So it's come out better on the green than the red, but I like both of them. And then what I did the edges to pick up the gold from the sequins. I just ran a Sharpie pen all the way around the edges. I don't know whether you can see that. It's just got an edge of gold just around there, and it's just that little extra that brings it all together. So I'm really pleased about that. Now, all of the others, I had stamped the image on the inside, and every one's got one slightly different. So that one's gone all the way down the side. That one's just got a little bit. And then some of the others are different as well. So the long ones have got just one coming in the side, and then the double one has got one right along. So everyone's a little bit different. But then I thought, on my live on Monday evening, I never got to show you how to use the 3-step stamping. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to take a little bit of paper, and I've got my stamps right on the block here if they don't stick together. Now this one is the outer one, so I'm going to do that one in Shaded Spruce, which is a gorgeous Christmas colour. And I've got a little bit of paper underneath, because I hate getting my grid paper dirty. And this one I think will go, haven't quite decided yet. Should we go all over the bottom? Yeah, why not? So right across the bottom. Whoops, nearly. There we go. So you've got the full blown one there. Lovely crisp image. While we've got the stamp here, we might as well do the other one. So tapping just very lightly. We'll do the same with this one, I think. Keep it simple. Straight down tapping lightly, and then straight on your, oops, oh, did you see that? Hope it went back. Yeah, that's not too bad. So, and then I stamp off the excess onto a piece of paper. I can close that up now because I've finished with that. And then bring my chamois in. If you stamp off, if you can get used to stamping off the excess ink, it's less ink to go on your chamois, and sometimes it helps the staining on the stamp as well, because you're not pushing all of that ink into the chamois. So that's come out really quite nice and clear, so I like that. So shut up my chamois, and then we go to the next one. Oh, well, that's a bit unfortunate. Did you see what it's done? I had my stamp ink pad on the top there to remind me which colour was which, and it's taken all the things off the bottom. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because they are the foreign languages. I think one's Chinese or Japanese or something. Japanese, isn't it? One's Japanese and the other one's German, I think. So we stick those back in there anyway. I've had some of my ink pads so long that the colour's fading on them, and what I've done is to pull these off and just cut this end off so it still shows the colour, and put it on the edge of my stamp set. I mean, you can't see this one because this is all nice and green, and I'm getting it all on my fingers because it's on here. So this one's all nice and green, but if you look at this one up here, this one's supposed to be pumpkin pie, and look how that is faded. So I've cut a little bit off the back, you can see it there, and popped it on the side so I know what colour it is really. It just helps me. It's the way my mind goes. Anyway, back to stamping. That's that one done. So the inner is garden green, and this is the inner one. So we'll stamp that all up because we're doing a full image. And the way I like to line this one up, I like to line the top and the bottom one, and line it up so that you can't see the outer edge. If you can see the outer edge, the one that you've already stamped, through your stamp, you haven't got it in the right position. So you very carefully offer it up, and you just move it around so you cannot see the edge through your stamp. And I hope I'm doing this right, because I can't lean any any further forward because of the tablet above me, right at head length, head height. So down it goes. Hopefully that'll be right, and that should give you, it looks good to me, should give you a quite nice clean. That's not bad. That is not bad. So that's given a nice crisp fill in. And we'll do the same again for the next one. So top and bottom. Gosh, this is a curly card. So the top and bottom leaf, just try and get it so that the edge is, you can't see the edge. Very carefully lower it down. Oh, I think that's all good to go. I've got my finger stuck underneath the block. There we go. That's what I like about these blocks as well, because they're so thick on the side. You can hold them right over the image, and it's so helpful. Some of the other ones you buy are so thin, you can't get it near, let alone down on top of the stamp so you can see what you're doing. So that one's all done, and let's clean that. So we've got two really good images on there, and now I've got another tip for you. We're full of tips today, aren't we? So there we go. We've got another little tip for you with the holly. Now, there is a stamp for the holly for this, and it works absolutely perfectly. In fact, we're going to stamp one with it, and it works absolutely perfectly. But you know, I told you about the smudge on the card, on the A4 piece of card, when I'd done the One Sheet Wonder. Well, that is what happened when I did my berries. I was concentrating on getting the berries so right that I moved my hand, and I must have had a little bit of ink, or where I had leant over one and then leant on the next one. It must have, oh, I do apologise. It seems as if my computer has gone into free fall. Oh, could you say whether you're still with us? I've got no movement on my computer. Have we, it seems as if let's close that. If somebody could message me just to let me know that, I see Tracy's just joined us. Let me have a look and see whether the recording. Yeah, it looks like we're still recording. I'm not seeing anything on the computer though. Could somebody comment to see whether they were still... Oh, all good. Oh, lovely. You're all good. Oh, and Joe's joined us, and Jane, and Tracy. Well, we've got a house full now. Right, well, where was I? Oh, yes. With the card that I made the mistake on, that's what I had done. I'd leant over and was stamping with this berry, and then as I went over to the next one, I must have got some on my hand, because when I leant down again, it was smudged, and that's how that last piece of card was smudged. So I'll show you how to use the berries. It's exactly how we did the other leaves, is you hold it over so that you cannot see the rings. The rings have to be on the inside. You just see the edge of them on over your berries, and then you can lower them down. So that's pretty good. So turn the card so you're away from that wet ink, and then obviously you've got to turn your berries round now, because it's one way and one the other. And again, just line them up so that ring disappears. You can only see it. That's it. So straight down, and lovely berries, and no ink. Oh, well, a little bit. Oh, well, that was yellow ink. Gosh, where did I get that from? Well, hopefully that was last night playing about. Right, so that's clean that, and then we'll show you what I did with the other ones. So that one's clean, nice, and red ink always stains your stamps more than any other colour. Anything with a red in it. If you've got like a purple or a reddy sort of magenta madness, that sort of colour, melon mambo, and even Highland heather to a certain extent. Right, so the other card I'm going to do with my right marker, and it's so easy. So I use a little one. Well, my little red one isn't working very much, so I'm going to use very, very carefully. And what I'm going to do, instead of colouring it, I'm just putting dots Just put lots of tiny little dots and then leave a little dot in the middle. Just tiny, tiny little dots, and then you can just leave that one in the middle. Yeah, you can do them a little bit bigger than that, Barbara, or else you won't get your berry filled. Oh dear. What am I like? There we are. And of course, the other thing you can do is what I thought of after I had smudged my A4 sheet is you can always get a piece of card and put it underneath your hand. So the ink will go on the card rather than your hand, and then you don't move the ink around. I had that gem of inspiration actually after I'd done it. So both of those, very effective, very easy. So that's another little tip. If you're if you think they're too small and, you know, to line up, then you can use a felt tip pen or your right marker. I wouldn't advertise doing your blends unless you're doing it on a layer, because it does bleed and it will come through even that little bit. Sometimes it would bleed and come through your card. So unless you're doing it on a layer that you're sticking in there, like some of the other ones, if you're doing it on here, for instance, that wouldn't make any difference because you're actually putting a layer inside the card. So that's finished all of those off. So that's all done. And I forgot, there was something else I was going to... Oh, yes, I know what it was. It was the other cards I made with this stamp set some time ago. And what it does, it shows you how to use a basic Christmas stamp that, you know, would be basically for Christmas, how to use it for other cards. So this is one, the Simply Stamped Stamp Ink and Paper card. I have added some gems because it just needed a little bit of extra. So I put some red gems on there and they look gorgeous, don't they? Really set the card off. And that is just simply stamping, just like we've done on a Whisper White base. And I've done the envelopes as well, and I'll be doing the envelopes to the cards as well. So this one, again, is using exactly the same, just taking it up here and a bit down here. We've used a little bit of DSP and a sentiment in the middle. Again, using the gems to match the colours. And did a little bit of inside as well. And this one I didn't put the berries, I just took the very top of the... stamp. I don't think I didn't even do the edges on that one. I just did the filler. So that's something else you can do. So that stepped it up a little bit. And then this is how you can use it for just a birthday card. So all I've done is taken the filler, not the outside, but just the filler, and stamped it on all sorts of different colours. So I believe this is pumpkin pie, crushed curry, and Cajun craze, I think. And I've just stamped the filler of the ivy on there and just cut them out with the duo punch. And that's really, looks really effective, and just happy birthday on that one. And then this is using it slightly differently. So we've again used the filler and just done a whole lot of stamping on a piece of card, very vanilla. Backed it with some Pretty Peacock. Again, done some stamping on pieces of Pretty Peacock and embossed it, and then put it through the duo punch, and then cut a little bit of ribbon and the sentiment. It just goes, oh, I haven't put an inner in that, I better do that. It just goes to show the versatility of the stamp set, that you can use it for any occasion. That could be for somebody who just loves gardening, couldn't it? It's a lovely holly leaf, and holly you get all year round, because it's and it's an evergreen, so you don't even have to have it, you know, for autumn. Holly can be around all year round. But there you go, and there's all my cards today. So don't forget about my Pampered Pets, the crafty bags. I've only got a few of those left, so if you want those, please message me. And if I can help you with any of the goods at all, products that we've shown you today, please message me and I'll be happy to sort that out for you. Please like and share the page if you've had fun today. And join me again on Monday evening at 7 o'clock. So thank you all for joining me, and hope you have a lovely weekend, and see you Monday evening. Cheerio for now. Bye-bye.